In this lesson, we will dissect the cube to create the comfort chair by Le Corbusier. So following the same steps, we could do things a couple ways. Again, if this is based on a 36 by 36 inch cube, which we're doing, or 30 inch by 30 inch cube, we could go ahead and measure those just like we did with the stairs exercise. But in this example, we'll just do things a little differently, and I'm going to dissect the cube. Again, placing an X, and then going from that point to the center point of the X to the right vanishing point, cuts it in half. So an X cuts it in half, both vertically and to perspective. Next, we cut the cube in half. Again, you're noticing here I'm just doing it at the bottom. Cut the bottom cubes in half again. Vertical line. Go through the X's to the vanishing point. So now I have a point here, and I'm going to do the top one for you again. So I'm going to dissect these two cubes. And I'm going to go through the vanishing point. And now I have this mark. So this will be, if this is 36 inches high, and it's broken down into 4 parts, then we have 9 inches, 18 inches, help me out, 25 inches, and 36 inches. And if we break that bottom cube further, we move from 9 inches to 4.5. So that might not be the perfect dimensions of the chair above, but it's close enough to do a sketch for us. So the first thing is that a seat height is going to be at 18 inches. We're going to make the bottom of the chair here 4.5 inches high. And then we're going to want to separate those two cushions in half. So if you look at this as my cushion, I could just do it right here if I want to, but if I want it to be more just perfectly half and half, then I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half and go to the vanishing point, and now I have my cushion. So I'm just going to draw that for you so that you can see it. And I just noticed in the lecture, and I'll see if I can fix that. I saw in the lecture that some of the lines are a little skewed. That's not because they're supposed to be. They just got off a bit. So the next thing is let's just kind of put in quickly the arms on each side. So these might be a little massive, but we're trying to follow the cube. So right now we have an arm, right? And we're going to have an arm on this side. So let's just draw that in. So I'm drawing in the start of an arm. Next, there's going to be this frame. So this is what's kind of cool about the international style in Le Corbusier. The frame or the structure is outside of the upholstery piece versus, you know, usually a frame is inside. So remember, I have these 4 boxes going up. Let's just cross the top box again. And that's going to be where that bar is going to go. I mean, it actually looks like it's a little lower. So if you don't want to just dissect the cube, I'll probably just place it where, to me, it looks like it should go, which is right about here. So I'm going to go to the vanishing point, and I'm going to come right to the middle of those boxes. So here's my bar going up and down to the foot on both sides through my X's. And now I want that bar to go across. Equally on both sides. So now I have my foot coming down. I have the beginnings of a cushion. I can see that that outer frame goes across. So that means it's going to my left vanishing point. So let me just show you with some quick construction lines. It does this. Okay. And then the base does this. And it looks like right about here we have another bar on both sides. And then that goes back to the left vanishing point. So let's draw that in. So how's it doing for those of you who are working on visualizing perspective? Are you seeing? There's the frame going across. So I sketched those in, but they actually all do go to your vanishing point on the right now. 2-point perspective. Right? Those all go there. So there actually is a third foot. This has actually a tripod 3 feet rather than 4, but you can make it 4. So a foot would come down from the corners. So now the chair that we're drawing is below the horizon line. So we would be looking down and we would see the tops of the arms. So let's try to do that. So from the corner of the arms, right? So that corner and that corner. Let's go back to perspective. So back to vanishing point. Okay? Let's do the same to put a top on the seat. Left vanishing point. So I'm just going to draw in part of this so that you can see where we're going. So what we need to determine is the thickness of the back. So if we wanted to make the back the same thickness as the arms, it doesn't look like it is, but if it was the same thickness, then we would try to find something a bit cube back here. So I'm just guessing the thickness of the back is right about there. So wherever that line meets, you've guessed the thickness of your back. Go to the right vanishing point, over. Right vanishing point, over. Okay? So now what you have is you have the thickness of the back of your chair. So I'll strengthen that by going to the vanishing point. Do a nice punch line for you. So I'm creating a punch line so you can see now the interior of the chair, right? And so from where those meet, that's the corner, the interior corner of your chair. And so it's hidden behind the arm, but it comes down right about here. So now I can just go ahead and finish that bottom cushion. If you want to, you can put a little foot right there. Actually, you wouldn't see that much of it because if there was a foot, it would follow this line. So there's your chair, right? So I'm just gonna make the light coming from my opposite side this time, just so that I can shade the side of the chair, so hopefully that'll help you see it a little bit better. That helped me see that I didn't finish this line. And so if the light's coming this way, I'm just gonna shade this side of the chair, and I don't know if that'll help for you to visualize. Our chair. So the only blooper I made was this, that doesn't need to be there. It would be tucked away back here. So I could, yeah. So I'm just taking this to the vanishing point, and I could see that it would be hidden back there. And if you did, you would see just this tiny little bit. So I would go ahead and not do that back leg, because it should be on that same line. So that's the blooper I made and I saw. Otherwise, not a bad drawing of a 2-point perspective Corbusier comfort chair.